All right, peace and black power, everybody. I want to welcome you to another NCRBGZ Productions. And tonight we got a nice show set up for the family. Again, we thank you for taking the time out your busy schedule to be here with the family. Like always, we ask you to thumb up the video, give it a like, give us a comment, and let us know what y'all think. It's Juneteenth weekend. It's our Independence weekend, so we got a couple shows lined up for the family today. Things that we think that we need to explore to better our family, better get the nucleus tight, better get some understanding going on. So, today's show that we got lined up for the family is the misconceptions. And we're going to have an open discussion about the Hebrew doctrine. Again, the name of the show is Misconceptions. And we're going to have an open discussion about the Hebrew doctrine, right? So with that being said, I want to give my panel members the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family. Let them know how you feeling, what y'all think about Juneteenth weekend, and how y'all feeling today, man.
Peace, family. Happy belated Juneteenth, everybody. Great weekend. Hope y'all enjoying y'all's family. Hope all is well with y'all who listening in, who's not listening in. I'm just here to learn, listen in. I might have a few questions here and there, but I'm not really gonna have too much input in this. But I'm here to listen and learn.
That's what it is. Now, if anybody, I'm sorry, my fault. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'm anxious.
Peace, family, shalom. Ron, you can find me on Facebook, Ron Perry, or on Instagram at King Perryon 144.
All right, that's what's up, brother. I don't know. It sounded real janky, so I'm hoping it got better toward the end. So I'm hoping that that'll solve everything. But what I was gonna say was, anybody in the chat, if y'all have any questions, I want y'all to ask y'all questions. I'll try to highlight it. We're gonna ask the brother Ron, the question. Hopefully he can answer. So with that being said, Ron, what I would like you to do, brother, is just give a brief description of what is the Hebrew doctrine, or just a brief description of how you came into the truth. Like, let us know your story, brother. Let us know, how did you come into the truth? What happened? Did you grow up in the church? Did you grow up a Muslim? Did you grow up a 5%er? Like, what happened that brought you into the truth?
I kind of sort of grew up in church for like the first, I say like 12, 13 years, but nothing never made sense. So I fell away from it. Still knew it real good, but just fell away from it. Then I say about 10 years ago, I was just surfing on YouTube and came across a couple of videos that made some sense. But you know how, like, you see videos, it might make a little bit of sense, and you just put it in the back of your mind, like it's always there, and it's like, But I say 2016, like, everything just came full circle, and I picked up the Bible and started reading it, and a lot of stuff, just a lot of questions that I always had, they just fell into place.
Okay. I grew up in the church too, brother. So I know that church thing, man. I grew up in it. So when you say a lot of things start falling into place, like give an example of something that was out of place, that once you start getting into the Bible, Apparently you had to be in the Bible before when you was into church, but apparently something happened and you re-entered the Bible. So what was like the difference from when you was in the Bible at first until when you re-entered the Bible? What was different when you re-entered it again in like 2016, like when you said everything came full circle? What was different about it?
All right, the biggest part that was different was the fact that I was doing it for myself and not for anyone else. And I started reading, you know what I'm saying? Like you gain knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So everything just fell into place. Like I give you a perfect example. By the church doctrine, they say that the people that's over there in that place called Israel right now, they are the chosen people, whatever, whatever. But in that same book that they preach from every Sunday and Wednesday for Bible study and whatever, revival, whatever, some of them, well, I ain't gonna say they, some of them will teach that the world is over when God's chosen people go back. They've been there since the 1940s. The world's still going on. That was something that never really made sense to me because I remember a preacher preaching about that like around Easter time. I think I was like 13 or 14, and I'm like, this nigga not making sense at all. Because I'm looking around, I'm like, the world ain't over. So what this nigga talking about? Okay. And then just different stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, if you base it off of that way of teaching, like the Christianity thing, like if you base it off of that, I'm trying to say it without taking shots, because people always people say I try to take shots, and I don't. I just say facts. It seems like basically, from the Christianity standpoint, it kind of seems like the Bible is a contradiction, because you read one page or you read one book, and then you read another book, and they don't line up, because it's like you'll read like the Christians and the law, statutes, and commandments. You don't eat pork. All black people love pork. But then they say that long as you pray over it, you good. I've heard plenty of them say that, and it's like that don't make sense.
Breaking up, Ron.
What was the last thing you heard?
No, I heard it all. I heard everything, brother. I actually heard everything.
Okay. Well, y'all follow me so far, right?
Yeah. So, so basically what you're saying from the Christian point of view, it's a lot of contradictions. Like they'll say something and then it's not like real in reality. So it's contradicting itself. Like it's saying once the children of Israel get home, the world's supposed to maybe, I don't want to say the world's supposed to end, but I guess it's supposed to be once the children of Israel actually get back to their homeland, it's supposed to be something that's supposed to happen. And what you're saying is the people of Israel was already there and the world's still going on. So it's like something ain't right about the way it's being taught.
The people, like the people that they claim are the chosen people, they say they're there now. That's why this country pays them X amount of dollars every single year for what? Did it freeze?
No, it's saying that your bandwidth is low, but it's good. Then it's a bag out, but it's all good, man. I'm able to follow. So if I can follow, that means that everybody else can follow, man. So keep going, brother. So I want to ask a couple questions. So like one question I want to ask is because apparently with you there's a big there's a difference between being a Christian and being a Hebrew as far as following the doctrine, right? So one of the differences is that who the Christians believe. Do Christians believe that the African Americans are the children of Israel, or do Christians believe
No,
that they don't?
the white people.
Oh, so they believe the white. So do you want to go into that to kind of like dispel that myth and make it be known who the children of Israel actually are?
I mean, I can, and it's real simple. All you got to do is open up the Bible and look at Deuteronomy chapter 8. It talks about the gifts and the curses. The curses only fit a certain type of people, especially verse 68. It only fits a certain type of people. And the Christians that I've had conversations with, they always say, well, no one really knows. But how many other people, let me ask you this question, how many other people in the history of this earth have been taken away in ships, scattered the four corners of the earth, and sold? That won't be rhetorical.
I hear you. No, I hear you loud and clear.
No, I'm saying answer that. Like, that won't rhetorical.
Say that again.
I said, what other people have you heard?
That been scattered on four corners of the earth besides African Americans? Nobody. Nobody fit that description.
Exactly.
Besides African Americans. Okay, so
and if you go on the internet and look up different types of people, there are people that look like quote unquote African Americans all over this world. Like if you go to the country of Belize, they look just like us.
Okay, so so with that, I know one of the misconceptions is that Hebrews are a hate group. I've saw some articles wherein they have tried to classify different camps of Hebrews as a hate group. Now, also, do you identify with any camp in particular, or are you okay? So you unaffiliated. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. And so as far as the hate group that they try to classify the Hebrews under, what do you feel about that?
How can I put this? Basically, the way I feel about that is they do that and they say that because in this country, anything that's classified as all for so-called black people, it's classified as a hate group, and that's it. Like when Malcolm was walking the streets back in the day with the Nation of Islam and he had the fruit around him and everything, they classified them as a hate group. There's a difference between being a hate group and being a separatist. Now you got the Klan and stuff, that's a hate group. They're not trying to separate from nobody, they're trying to kill people. Trying, succeeded a few times, more than a few times.
Okay. Give me one quick second. I'm trying to send this link out here. Let me get back here. All right. So okay. So what's this thing? I heard a lot of Hebrews that be saying that they not African, or you know, that the Africans are Hamites and the Hebrews are Shemites. Shemites, right?
That's
so
true.
What's your stance on that as far as the difference between Africans on the continent and Africans per se that's around the globe, around the four corners? The Africans that's around the four corners of the globe, do you consider them Africans, or are they Shemites, not Hamites? Like, you know, that's the question I wanted to ask.
I mean, in this day and age, everybody's everywhere. So you do have Hamites everywhere. The same way you got white people everywhere. Like how you
Is it my phone? I
was that
can't hear
me?
nothing.
No, he blanked out right then, brother. Brother, you blanked out when you said that you got Europeans, white folks all over, just like African. We hear nothing else after that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my phone.
Yeah, you
Am I
good?
still bringing up?
No, it's perfect right now.
Okay, but yeah, like I said, in this day and age, you got everybody everywhere. But there is a difference between Shemite and Hamite. Like Shemite comes from the line of Shem. They all come from like Noah's sons. Ham, Shem, Japheth.
Okay, yeah. It's saying your bandwidth is low, so I don't know what's really going on. But we're gonna keep it moving, man. We're not gonna let it slow our progress now. Um, with the differences, um, well, let me, because everybody have. Well, I've talked to different people of the culture that are Hebrew, different cultures. I mean, for everybody that practice the culture of being a Hebrew, but you have some that have different points of view toward the Africans. So, like, what is your like? What is your? How do you feel about the Africans? Are you contagious toward them? Are you? Could you have some that is say that they're your brothers because in a time of need, when you was going through famine, that they fed you, they helped you, multiply. Then you have some that despise the Africans because of what the Africans done to the Hebrews when they did not know Joseph. They said it was a Pharaoh that did not know Joseph. But prior to that, the relationship was good. But when
Yeah,
you had,
they lived amongst each other for 400 years.
but then when you had that one Pharaoh that came that did not know Joseph, that wanted, that Moses had to, strike down, kill, well, one of the Egyptians for hurting the Israelites. So what's your perceptions of the relationship between Africans or Shemites and Hamites? I'm gonna use them words for this show. What's your perception of the relationship between Shemites and Hamites?
Well, my perception of it is, I don't really have anything against them. I mean, I have quite a few friends that are from Africa, so I don't have anything against them. Like a lot of them will tell you that we're not the same. So
Okay.
I got a question.
Go ahead, brother.
My question is short, sweet and simple. Shem, the three people, right? The tribe, the nation. What made God choose Shem, a certain tribe, favor them over everybody else? And what did they do wrong? What did we do right? What happened for God to make his mind up to feel like one is better than the other? You know what I mean?
I can't really answer that question directly, but I know what you're trying to get at. And like I told you before, Ham was the start of like the Babylon culture, the Kemetic culture, which turned into the Catholicism culture.
Okay, what cultures do the Ashkenazi Jews? What do you call them people over there? It's in Israel right now. What culture they come from? Babylonian too?
Yeah, Kabbalah came from Babylon.
I'm done. Go ahead, Saru.
I think he go.
Saru.
I think he left.
But that's a good question though, man. What I asked you.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead, Saru.
No, I thought that he was answering your question. I didn't catch the answer. But I already know the answer according biblically. I know the answer biblically. So with that being said,
what's your answer?
What the answer to what to why Shem was picked as the chosen instead of Ham? You asked me what do I think the answer is? Well, biblically, it's just like he chose between the offering. One of the offerings he's accept, and another offering he didn't accept from the two brothers, because I feel like it was just one was chosen. That's why they say that biblically speaking, if we're gonna follow the biblical narrative, it's because God just chose him. Right or wrong, that's God's choice. And God just decided he chose Shem over Ham. I mean, that's it. So biblically speaking, that's what I get out of it. It's really no one reason, but it's like just God just favored Shem. And you know, that's what I get out of it. That just
well, my thing is though, Saru, my thing is, man, we talking about God now. Not human, okay? This about God is supreme. There's a reason for everything. Now, I know God just gonna do things for no reason, but you gotta give me a reason why. Somebody gotta tell me something, man.
Well, see, listen. Now you gotta understand. I'm coming from a biblical narrative place. Now, and that's so you understand. My whole conversation is based off the biblical narrative. So I'm not gonna interject my personal thoughts into it. I'm going to stick strictly to the Bible. The biblical narrative, that was God's decision. God just chose. That's the narrative. Just like when it came to the offering between Cain and Abel. In that offering, God wanted blood. Cain offered the fruit and vegetables. Now, I'm not putting my personal opinion into it. I'm just saying biblically narrative, God chose the blood over the fruit. So God had the right to choose. So from that narrative, you have to say that the emotions or the right to choose which one is better, which one is worse, is up to the eye of the beholder. I mean, now we can discuss if we feel it's right or wrong, but from that narrative, that's just the one that God chose, you know?
And I will be completely honest with you. I think Neb wants to discuss what's right and what's wrong with everything.
I mean,
because that question came from a conversation that me and him had a couple of days ago.
Well, you understand, I'm being a moderator today.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm being a moderator. So all I'm gonna say is, from the biblical narrative, God just chose. He chose one over the other one. Now, whether we think it's right or wrong, that's something else. But just like according to the biblical narrative, God destroyed the earth, but he only kept Noah and his sons and the family. You know, somebody can say that's wrong. Why was Noah picked? You get what I'm saying? But you know, according to the biblical narrative, you don't supposed to question them things. You have to take it on faith, Nell. You know this.
I'm not. I know. I'm not here to question. I'm just questioning. I said I'm a few questions, right? That's all. You can carry on, Ron. Carry on, man. I ain't trying to put nothing in there, you know. No I ain't trying to throw no bull crap in there, man. You know what I mean? That's a few questions.
But I do have some questions though. See, even though, and I'm gonna make sure that my questions are not biased. But I have questions as far. My questions are dealing with before Moses, what's the prophet that was, I can't even think of his name. His name just escaped me right now.
Enoch.
No, not even Enoch. Not even Enoch. After Enoch. But he was a lot
Abraham.
of people, no, not Abraham. A lot of
Elijah?
people. Who?
Elijah?
No. He split the water. He made the water split before
Moses.
Before Moses. Moses was the first one that parted the water. There was another prophet that parted the water, and he was waiting for the rain to come. Wow, I can't think of his name right now. Wow, it's crazy. But another prophet parted the water before Moses done it. And y'all gonna make me pull it up real fast. Y'all help me out, man. He was doing magic. He got took up in the whirlwind.
Elijah.
Elijah.
I just said what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Elijah. My question is to Ron about Elijah. What lineage did Elijah come through? Was Elijah from the Hamitic line, or was Elijah through the Shemitic line? Did you hear me, Ron, brother? I don't know, he muted. I don't know if something going on right now, but that's just a question I have.
Oh, my bad. I forgot I muted my mic. Nah, yeah. You said Elijah was before Moses. He was after Moses.
I might be wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong. It was after Moses. Okay, but Elijah.
Yeah, he was in the Book of Kings.
Okay, he did split the water though. He parted the water also. But my question is with Elijah, which lineage did Elijah come through? Did he come through the Hamitic, or was he Shemitic?
I believe he was Shemitic.
Oh, okay. My understanding that he came through the Hamitic line, but I guess that'll be another conversation another day. But Elijah and Elijah's nephew also part
of no. Hold on. Because his dad was a Hebrew. You are your father's seed.
So Elijah did. Okay. But his mother was a Hamitic. His mother
That's possible, but you are your father's seed.
Okay. So my question was dealing with Elijah, Moses, Jesus or Yahshua, Elijah, Moses, Yahshua, and Elijah's grandson. Because when Elijah got took up in the whirlwind, Elijah's grandson parted the water to get back over there because he picked up their staff. So my question was about Elijah, Moses, Jesus, and his grandson. They all used what we would say is magic. I would consider it magic. So my question was, they all taught in the African traditional?
Nope.
So they wasn't. Okay, nope. So my next question is is the Hebrew Hebrew culture,
Right. Yeah.
Hebrew culture, and the traditional African culture. Did they have a lot of similarities in them?
Yes, but everybody has similarities in them because, all right, and that's what I was talking about with that question that Neb asked. All right, let's go back to the days of Enoch, where you talk about the fallen angels coming down to Mount. I want to say Hermon. I think it's Hermon. I can't remember. Now, when they came down, they had sex with the women, and they taught people everything. They taught them how to make weapons. They taught them about what was it, astrology. They taught them about mathematics. You name it, they taught it to them. That was one of the reasons why the flood had to happen. And on top of that, they were mating with beasts. That's where you get the line that Goliath came from. Like you had the giants that came from them mating with beasts, mixing the blood. Now all of that stuff was taught. The flood happened. After the flood, Ham learned all of that knowledge from the people prior to the flood and taught it to his people. Like he taught it to his son Cush. Cush taught it to his son Nimrod. Nimrod, Babylon. You go from Babylon, then you go to Mizraim, Egypt. All of that stuff is still the same, and it came from the fallen angels. Where did the fallen angels get their knowledge from? The Most High, Elohim. So you're going to have similarities with the works of the enemy, from my standpoint.
Okay, so
that's why, hold on. That's why, like, if you look at every single junk, like, all of them have something to do with, like, the quote-unquote immaculate conception. But the only difference is the majority of them worship the mother goddess, which her original name was Semiramis. Y'all call her Isis.
Okay, we got another brother that just came in. Brother, do you want to unmute your mic and introduce yourself to the family?
I know that ain't my cousin.
Doing her.
I know that ain't my barber.
Yeah, man. I just invited him.
What's
What's
happening?
up, man? Man, I
What's
just hopped out
up?
the shower, man. What's up, brothers? What's up?
What's going
What's up,
on?
brother?
Look, I'm just here to absorb all knowledge, man.
That's what's up.
Hey,
I took over and sent it to you,
Seth, that's my guy right there, man.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Peace, God. How you doing?
That's my guy.
Good, man. How you doing, God?
All right. Do you want to add on, brother?
Man, I'm just here. I'm just soaking up knowledge on the sponge right now, man. Well, the sponge gonna be quiet until it get full enough of knowledge.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Glad you made it, brother. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. So, brother Ryan, all right. So, the fallen angels. A lot of people talk about that story. From a biblical narrative, can you break that down to us? Like, why was it fallen angels? What was going on? Because in the Christian church, we was taught in the Christian church that hold on, let me say, I remember when I was going to church, I was taught that Satan used to be able to sing. This is what they teach you. They said that Satan was in charge of singing, and Satan realized that that you know, singing would get people emotional. So he was trying to take over, you know, so that's why God shut them down. But and some angels. So is that, can you explain that to the family? Or is that the same fallen angel story?
That's not there's nothing else to really explain. You just like it's more to the story, but that's what it is. Like
Okay,
the
brother, you
fallen
breaking up bad.
angels, they tried to overtake God, and they were kicked out. Like for example, y'all all good with movies. Y'all seen movies before. The stars that fly around that mountain. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. What you were initially, what you were saying, we didn't hear, but we heard toward the end when you were saying that some of the angels tried to take over, and so you know, it was trying to it was like a coup where they were trying to take
Yeah,
over.
they tried to overthrow God. They were jealous, so they tried to overthrow God. They felt that they could do a better job.
Okay, so my next question is, are you familiar with the Sumerian text and about the Sumerian text? Are you familiar with it? Because they talk about the fight in heaven and why they was sent down. Are you familiar with that, or you don't agree with it, or you do agree with it, or what's your stance on that?
Heard of it, but that was at least about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like it wasn't something that I sat there and studied. Like I was sitting there building with a brother, and he was telling me about it, and I was listening to it, and I never really went back to it.
Oh, okay. Because only reason I brought it up because it talks about the war in heaven. Why it was a war in heaven, and then it talks about, you know, the different entities wherein the offerings was being made. Like but I'm not gonna bring that up now. Maybe I just was asking about it to see what you're familiar with it. All right, so do you believe that the sky is gonna crack and the angels are gonna come and save us? Do you believe the chariots and all that's gonna come through the sky and save us? Or you know, because some people believe that God is within us.
Hold on. Save us. No. Do I believe everything else you just said? Yeah.
Okay, so they're not gonna. So the army gonna come back, but they're not gonna come and save us. They're gonna come back and.
There's a tribulation period that has to happen.
Okay. So
Like
my next.
Like all of that left behind crap that they tried to throw on us. That stuff is fake. Like if you get taken up, you dead. Like you have to go through that tribulation. The only people that's not going to go through the tribulation is going back. They're already dead. They're in the ground. If you're alive, you're going through the tribulation.
Okay, so my next question is God within you or outside of you? What's your perception, or is it both?
You said, is God within you or outside of you?
Yeah, or is it both?
God is everywhere, so it's both.
So it's both. So I'm asking a lot of questions because it's dealing with the God coming back. So do you believe God gonna come back through us, meaning that
No.
by using us, or do you think God is gonna come back by coming from outside of us, meaning coming from somewhere that's not here to here, or do you believe that God is gonna come back through the people?
Not here to here.
Say that again.
I'm agreeing with the first thing you said. Well, he's coming not from here, but he's coming to here.
Okay, God is coming to here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do y'all got any questions for the brother? All right. So come on, y'all, ask some questions. I don't want to be the only one asking questions.
You're doing a good job of the questions, bro. You basically asking the same questions I would ask.
Okay. Now, well, I think that's most of the questions I have. I really don't have too many more.
That's why I wanted like an open discussion with a bunch of people.
All right, go ahead. What you saying, Ron?
No, I said that's why I wanted like a open discussion with a bunch of people. That way it wouldn't just be me and you talking back and forth.
Yeah. That's why. And ain't nobody in the chat. There's not one question. Hey, if y'all got any questions in the chat, throw the question up here and I'll read it. You know, we're talking about the Hebrew doctrine. We wanted to lay to rest the idea that Israelites are a hate group. And what do some groups say about being African? He already answered that.
Hold on. It's another thing I want to lay to rest too, because it really bothers me. Calling yourself an Israelite. First of all, if you're not righteous, it doesn't make you better than anybody else. That's one. Two, even if you are righteous, it still don't make you better than anybody else. Two, being an Israelite is not a cult thing. Everybody has this misconception that it's a cult because everybody that they put on, I can say everybody, 95% of the niggas that they put on TV that call themselves Israelites, them niggas are bugged out of their head. Some of y'all in the chat might not like the word nigga, but hey, I didn't like the dude that he was legit running the cult, but he had the name, but he was running it under the name of being an Israelite. But he was basically doing the same thing that Farad Muhammad was telling people. Basically, you gotta catch a body in order to get down. Nah, it ain't. And a lot of people, they think like, oh, he in a code, this, that, and the third, when I'm giving you scripture word for word. Now, if you don't believe in the Bible, that's your own personal problem. But if I'm giving you scripture
But brother, you going in and out real bad.
So apparently I don't know reading comprehension and I don't know how to read. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge misconception, especially with our own people.
Hey brother, you going in and out. You going out real bad. It's in and out very bad right now. What I wanted to do though, I wanted to show y'all a video. It's still in and out.
All right, let me try this.
Maybe if you come out or come back in, we'll see.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Way better. Way better. That's better.
Yeah. I don't know what you just did.
It's still in and out.
No, it's perfect there.
I took it off the Bluetooth. All I did was took it off the Bluetooth.
It's a whole lot better.
I figured that's what it was, is the Bluetooth. So I'm clear now.
Yeah, you great now. It's perfect.
You talking about that cult, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, right?
That's Florida, his name. Right? That's his name. That's his name.
Them the ones that went to Israel.
Nah, they the ones that went to jail. That nigga's in a federal maximum facility right now, I think.
Wow.
Like they the ones that was killing people in order to get down with the crew. Vice did a whole special on them. Vice did a special on a couple of them bugged out camps. Like one of them I seen, dude was on TV talking about some we can sleep with whoever we want to, like basically saying that it's okay to be a pedophile. And I'm like, nah, that ain't nah. And it's like, this is just my personal opinion. That's the media trying to throw salt to make everybody look bad. Because they'll go out there and they'll find the dumbest niggas they can and then put them on the screen, and then that's what the perception on everything becomes. And that ain't right. That ain't right at all.
We get the same. We get the same hand. The Hebrews like get the same hand. We as the committed thought people get the same. Yeah, extreme dumb people not camp, but you know what I mean. So everybody gets the same hand, man. When it comes to that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's messed up. I was trying to find this video that I wanted to show real fast, but somehow it got taken off. I can't find it. It was of a paralyzed brother. That he was paralyzed, but he walked in the name of Yahweh. He walked from the end of the block to the other block, and but I can't find it right now. It's been taken off. So I was gonna show that video because it was a powerful video, man. All right, fellas. So if y'all don't have too many questions, I don't want to go and turn this into a back and forth thing. I just want people to see that it's a good side to the Hebrew doctrine. If you want to take that culture and that culture make you a better man, a better woman, by all means, I'm all for it. We at the point now where anything that really is stopping our growth, we need to get rid of. Instead of coming up with reasons to be divided or reasons to be separate from one another, them days are over with. I'm trying to think, is it any more? I don't have too many more questions.
I got one thing to add on. Ron, being he called himself, he stand on the Israelite doctrine. There ain't too many Israelites out there, man, that will even come on this show to even be cool with me and be cool with Saharu. A lot of Israelites, man, it's like, hey, it's us or nothing. You know what I mean? For him to come out and put his hand out to us, somebody don't necessarily agree or disagree with everything he's saying. I mean, that's a big move,
Yeah, and there's some other brothers that I have.
I got a question.
Go ahead, brother.
I got a question for both of y'all. What is the purpose of Juneteenth?
Well, me is to celebrate when the last slaves were told that they were free. So now we can talk about the mental slavery.
We free?
I know. That's what I'm about to say. We can talk about the mental slavery that we're still in. But as far as the chattel slavery.
Yeah, but slavery was still going, like the type of slavery that you're talking about, that was still going on well after, what was it, 1865? Yeah. June 19th. It was still going on after that. It was called sharecropping. And a lot of those plantation owners would lie to the people and say that you still owe me, so you ain't going nowhere.
Well, with the sharecropping, some of them, now I can't speak on all of them, but I can speak on some of them. They went back because they ain't had nowhere else to go. They didn't know what to do when it was free. So they went back and was willing to
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but, the fact that they were told now, because I have seen some specials on Vice where it was like in the 60s, wherein they didn't know that they were free. And like it was still like white people that they were working for. And they was really still slaves, but not knowing. But we're just saying, yeah. But what Juneteenth is saying from a standpoint of Ron, you're breaking up, brother. But from the Juneteenth standpoint, it just when the last slaves in Texas was told that they were free. So and I don't see nothing wrong with it, man, because you know we celebrate Independence Day. Half of us celebrate Christmas. You know, we celebrate all these different holidays. So for us to have a day,
Nah, I ain't saying nothing.
for us to have a day wherein we celebrate when the last slaves was sold free. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was actually proud yesterday when I looked on my timeline to see Black people celebrating. A lot of Black people don't even know about Juneteenth. They don't know, you know. So I was just proud because I feel like 10 years ago you didn't see this. 5 years ago we weren't seeing this. So you know, it ain't we may not be moving at a quick pace, but we're moving. And I was just so proud to see it, man, to see that people are actually out here celebrating. Black folks is like, we slowly getting back to ourselves, man. So to the right consciousness, that's what I mean when I say back to ourselves. So with me, I see it as a good thing, man. I see it as a good thing. And a lot of more Black people supporting Black-owned businesses. So, you know, we can talk about the things that's not right or the things that's still wrong, but you know, we also have to take the good with it as well. So we can't always just look at the negative side of things and constantly beat on the negative side. We have to take some, because we're not always taking L's. We taking some wins too. So we need to, you know, big up the wins, whether it may be minute or major. But for morale sense, Juneteenth is a morale booster to me. And like we had our event here in the Hosky. Hosky never had a Juneteenth event, never. First ever one we had Friday. It wasn't that many people, but it wasn't about how many people that showed up. It was about the people that did show up. Because the ones that showed up was the ones that cared. And it was the ones that the ancestors sent to be there. So we was there for a reason. And you know, everybody get it at their own pace. You know, but I felt good to have our event here yesterday for Juneteenth, and people get to talk. And then we had the youth. We had the youth speaking. You know, the youth telling how they feel, especially what's going on in the climate that we in right now. So I think it's therapeutic. Y'all can go ahead. Y'all can jump in.
I got a question. Ron, how you feel about when we said
I feel about what? What you say?
Neb, I didn't hear you all either. You said, what do you feel about what? Hey, Neb, I didn't hear you, brother. I guess his signal kind of bad too. I guess he'll come back here.
Did you hear everything that he said?
No, I didn't hear the last part. It's like something he was asking, what do you think about? But I didn't hear the last part of it, man. But you know what I want to do? I want to give y'all brothers the opportunity to close out. I guess Neb coming back in. We didn't hear that question, bro.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
I'm gonna ask Ron. You was just talking about the ancestors, right? And brought the people that are Juneteenth. How do the Israelites feel about when we talk about ancestors? Y'all hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I hear you now.
I heard you explain talking about what you mean by ancestors. Like,
When we say the ancestors sent, you hear Senator Ruth said the ancestors sent the people to Juneteenth, right? You hear a lot, right? The ancestors, libations, the ancestors. How you feel about that?
I don't feel nothing about it.
Do you believe in angels? Or the Israelite doctrine?
Yeah. What does one have to do with the other?
Is that the same thing in your man, your book?
No, not at all. That's like saying my great grandparents are angels. No, they're my ancestors. That's not the same. Like, break down what you're trying to say, because I'm lost for. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm lost.
You basically asked the question. That's all. I know you had we were talking earlier. We were talking about the Crawley thing and the Kemetic thing you were putting together. Madam Blavatsky, the New Age. I know you were talking about that, but we ain't gotta talk about that if you want to.
Yeah, because it's 8:30, man. So what I want to
do. I'm lost. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm lost right there. Like, you confuse me right there.
Yeah, it's 8:30, y'all. So what I want to do, I want to give everybody a chance to close out because we got another show coming on at 9 o'clock. Try to have a conversation about
9:30, right?
Yeah, 9:30. Oh yeah, we got a little more time there. Well, okay, Ron, I'm gonna tell you what Neil basically trying to say. When he's talking about ancestors, he's saying that like we reveal our ancestors, so we call on our ancestors' name. So basically, what he's saying is, how do you feel about us as Africans when we or anybody that practice African spirituality, where they call on their ancestors? So they may pray to their ancestors. How do you feel about it? I guess that's what he's asking. How do you feel about that as far as
if that's what he's asking, I don't agree with it at all. Because basically you praying to spirits.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't ask the question, Stuart. He asked the question.
Oh, okay.
Angels and ancestors ain't the same thing. Like
so my question to you would be, if then is Jesus a spirit?
Let's see.
Or you don't pray to Jesus?
I pray in Yahshua's name, but he was risen from the dead, so
is that a spirit though?
But if he was risen from the dead, how is he a spirit?
You don't think spirits are risen from the dead? You think spirits are still in the ground? Or do you think that when you die, your spirit...
Yeah, they are still in the ground.
So you don't think that when you die, your spirit leaves your body? You think that when you die, your spirit dies with your body? Or do you think your spirit...
doesn't die. You don't die, you sleep.
Okay, so I'm just asking. So you believe that when you die, your spirit don't die, but your spirit goes to sleep with the body that decays. And
yes.
once the body decays, what happened to the spirit? Do the spirit still be in the decayed body, or do the spirit transcends from that decayed body?
to be honest, I've never thought about it to that deep aspect, but your spirit doesn't go anywhere. I know that for a fact. Like, your spirit doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Because in the book, like, it was in the Bible, it was a place that they talked about. It was basically purgatory. It was called Abraham's bosom. And when Yahshua died, he went there and took the ones that were going back. He took them with him.
So the ones that Yahshua took back with him, were they spirits?
Yes, I thought he just said that.
Okay, no, I'm just asking. I'm not going nowhere with this. I'm not being malicious in that. I'm just asking.
No, I know.
I know.
I thought my phone was breaking up again. That's why I started laughing. I was like, I thought I just said that.
Okay. All right. So so there you have it. Okay. I just one thing I believe is that when you die, when your body dies, that your spirit leaves your body. I believe that our body encases our spirit. That's your Kayaba, or you got different names. And once your body and you take your last breath of life, and your last breath of life is gone, I believe that your spirit transcends from your body. I don't believe that your spirit stays with the decayed body or dead body. I believe that your spirit transcends. So I believe that your spirit actually go back from whence it's come, which is the creator. So so that's why I see Jesus as a spirit to me. I see everybody that have died as a spirit, because I believe that your body is just a vessel, wherein that we are all a spirit being that's inside of a body. But we all know our body is going to decay and break down, but our spirit ain't going to break down and decay. Our spirit is going to transcend this actual body. So that's the only reason I said that. But yeah, that was a good question though. And I like the answer. But what I want to do is I do want to give y'all the chance to close out so we can kind of like prepare. I think we had a good discussion, Ron. I wish we would have had a couple more people up here to ask a couple more questions. And so you could have went further. I see you the type, you need somebody to engage you so you can teach. So so I wish we would have more people that could have asked some more questions.
We're gonna do a part two. We're gonna do a part two somewhere in the future.
Yeah, when we get some more people that can ask some more questions, so you can bring some more of your information out, brother. And hopefully I can get some more of my Hebrew brothers to join. I hope they look at this show and see that it's not combative. I will admit that I used to be very contagious, very combative. I used to be, but there's a time and place for everything, and with growth,
I still am to a certain extent.
Yeah, I am too, but I'm learning though, like with growth, when you grow, you can't do the same thing you used to do 5 years ago, because that's not growth. I'm being stagnated, right? And we're at a time now where we don't need to be bashing one another. It's okay to talk about differences, but we need more unity than disunity. We need more cohesiveness than confusion. So I'm not trying to do my part not to add no confusion. But with that being said, man, I want to give y'all the opportunity to close out, tell the family where they can find y'all, and so we can move forward.
Yeah, I'm in Ray. I enjoyed the talk. Had a little bad connection going on. I hate that I missed out on a whole lot of things. I do know that I know we got to do a part two. And I'm definitely gonna have some people question. some more questions. People with questions coming next time. That's all.
I enjoyed the little chat, enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed the answers that Sat and Ned threw at me. I appreciate the big homie showing up for a little while. Shout out to Big Herd. I can be found on Facebook, Ron Perry, and on Instagram at King Perryon 144. KINGPERRION 144.
All right, I thank y'all brothers for being up here, man. And like always, thank y'all. Give us a thumb up, leave us a question, leave us a good comment, let us know what you think, and with that, peace, Black Power, Shalom.